Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be the story behind when I was given Martyr by Plarium and kind of diving into everything that, went into that and what they've done for me and kind of how I got wrapped up in that situation, because this video is kind of a response to my last video talking about the community uproar about N1 Cartman getting Dracomorph, and there was kind of some comments criticizing me and, making some fair points that I wanted to make sure and do a video and respond to, just to make sure we're all on the same page and I'm as clear as possible about everything that went down in that whole situation. So yeah, let's get into it. Alrighty, so I'll start just by I'm just gonna kind of talk. Didn't really prepare a script or anything. I just got home and wanted to make sure and get this out. So I'm probably just gonna kind of tell the story of when I was given Martyr and kind of how I got wrapped up in a really difficult situation for me. So I've been doing YouTube for 12 years, since 2008. I started with StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2, Diablo 3, Overwatch, a bunch of different stuff. And in that 12 years, I've never had any contact with like somebody who actually works on the game, like somebody who works for the company. So when I started doing Raid and, people from Plarium, were contacting me, YouTube coordinators and stuff like that. It was very exciting when that first happened. I was like, wow, I can actually have a voice and get things done and help the community and really push for things. Like, this is super cool. And within like the first week or two, I was given Martyr like 6 months ago. So within like the first week or two of me kind of starting to have conversations with people at Plarium, I'm at work one day and I get a message on Discord, like on my cell phone. So I'm like at work, I'm kind of distracted. I get a message and it's like, hey, we appreciate everything you are doing and the other content providers as well. So for a few of you, we're going to give you a champion. What do you think about that? And I was like, hey, that's super awesome. Thanks for doing that. I know having a counterattack champion would help me out a lot. If I remember right, I didn't even say a specific champion. I was kind of thinking in the back of my head, I don't know what they're going to do. Is this like a new champion they're going to give us? Or do we get to like pick? I just kind of randomly said, that's awesome, thanks. I know having a counterattack champion would help me out a lot. And I'm at work, whatever, I'm doing my thing. And then I see a message, hey, congratulations. Next time you log in, you'll see that you have a Martyr. Thanks for everything you do in the raid community. And I was like, what? I was like, they gave me Martyr? I was expecting like Skull Crusher, or for them to be like, well, we can't give you like a super GG champion, but we'll work with you a little bit. Maybe give you like a Tyrell or a good epic or something. I did not expect to get Martyr. So I was like blown away, and I'm like, all these thoughts are going through my head. I'm like, wow, okay, so I have counterattack now. I can really. Back then, there wasn't a lot of content on counterattack, and I was like, cool, I can I'm gonna go home and really dive into this, learn about counterattack, start making some videos, test this stuff, really get into it. All these thoughts are going through my head, and then like a minute or two later, they send me another message, and they're like, oh, and by the way, you can't tell anybody about this. And I'm like, my heart kind of sank, and I was like, what? I was like, oh no. Okay, so it's already happened. They've already given the Martyr to me, and it's like my first dealings with them, and so I didn't want my first dealing with them to be like, no, I refuse, like, sorry, and have them be like, oh, well, we tried to do something nice for him right when we've met him, and he was like, no, screw you, and wouldn't accept our help, so okay, screw him. So like it's like one of my first dealings with them, and it had already happened, and I was like, so then I was really caught in a pickle, and I was like, okay. And so looking back on it, the way I should have handled it, even though it would have been tough, I should have been like, hey, that's a really nice gesture, but I would feel more comfortable if you would do something for me that I'm allowed to be public about. That's how I should have handled it. Now that I have the perspective, of going through a situation like that, working with a company. This was my first situation ever in dealing with a gaming company that is like reaching out to me because of my content or any sort of thing like that. And now that I've been through it and I have a perspective lens, I can totally understand the criticism of me, you know, I should have handled it differently, and I want to make sure and kind of tackle that head on and respond to it and give you as honest of an answer as I can as to kind of how I got in that position, and looking back on it, what I should have done. So I also thought it was going to be something they were going to be doing for a lot of people. I know like Darth was given Mountain King, and I think a couple other people were given something as well. But I was under the impression it was going to be like a lot of champions given to a lot of people, like a bunch of different YouTubers. I didn't think this was going to be something like exclusive to me. And when it was first told to me, I didn't think it was something that was going to have to be a secret. And then kind of after it was done, they kind of threw in this comment of, and by the way, you can't tell anybody. So now it's like, what do I do? Like, someone did me a favor and asked me to keep quiet about it. Do I betray them? And do I betray someone who just did something nice for me and you know, go behind their back and tell everybody and betray that trust? Or do I try to do the right thing and have integrity and obey their wish? If they did something nice for me, the least I can do is, you know, like, what's the right answer? Like, it's a tough situation. You have somebody that you're excited to work with, somebody that you view as above you, that you kind of look up to, and you're excited to work with them, and then you're kind of thrown, like, I think it would be a little bit different if this was something that I asked for. Like, if this was something like I was begging them for Martyr, and they finally caved and were like, okay, here's your Martyr, but don't tell anybody. Like, I think that would be different. But this is a situation that I just randomly was kind of thrown into. Like, hey, we're giving you Martyr, and by the way, don't tell anybody. And then I'm like, okay. you know, so that's kind of how I got trapped in that. And within I honestly, this was like so long ago. It was 6 months ago. I was kind of surprised in my comment section on today's video when I was talking about Cartman being given Dracomorph. A lot of people in my comment section didn't know I was given Martyr, and honestly, that was a shock to me because it was so long ago. I thought by now it was common knowledge. I never officially like addressed it in a video because it was never really relevant to the topic, but it's something I've talked with Darth about both on my stream and on his stream. Like a week after I was given Martyr, I was on T Swift RTZ's stream just hanging out with him, and he was like, this was like right when it happened. This was like within a week. And he was like, so what about the rumor that you were given Martyr? And it was really new, and I didn't know what to do yet because I was like, gosh, am I gonna get in trouble like if I tell the truth? So I tried to like tell the truth on his stream without getting in trouble. So when he asked me that, I was kind of like, no comment. You know, I did something like that where it was like obvious that it's true. But if Plarium came after me, I could be like, I said no comment. You know, I was trying to kind of be honest without being honest. I was in a tough kind of spot there. But it's not like this is something that I've been digging my heels in and grinding my teeth and lying about for 6 months. Like, you know, when it comes up, especially recently, I've had open conversations about it, both on my stream, other people's streams, and I thought it was pretty common knowledge in the community at this point. So I apologize for not like officially talking about it sooner. That's an oversight on my part. I shouldn't have assumed that people just know what's going on. And being gifted a legendary is a big deal, and I should have been more forthright in really tackling it and discussing it right away. But right away when it happened, I was really in a tough spot, and I apologize for that. So going through a situation like that, now I'm much more mentally equipped to handle it. And like I said, what I should have done was said, hey, please take the Martyr back. I would much rather have you appreciate me in a way that isn't kind of a backdoor deal, something I can be open about. So I guess while we're on the subject, maybe some of you are curious, you know, how does it work? Like what exactly has Plarium done for you I've been playing Raid for probably, I don't know, 10 or 11 months. I started like in April. It's February, so yeah, about 10 months. So as a moderator, I'm a moderator like on the server, and admittedly, you know, I'm more towards the content side of things, so I don't really have time to do a whole lot of like Discord moderation, which a lot of them give me crap for because I'm not like in there as often as I should be. But we get, I don't know the exact rewards, but I probably get like, I want to say it's like 2,000 gems a month. I could be off. I don't track it. I get somewhere between like 2,000 and 3,000 gems a month, which is definitely good, and I'm thankful for that. And I think we get like books every now and then, and maybe some chicken every now and then. I know I've probably been gifted like over the course of 10 months, probably like 30 or 40 legendary books and like 30 or 40 epic books. Yeah, probably like I probably average like 4 or 5 a month being given to me, and probably 2,000 to 3,000 gems, somewhere in there. I would say probably 98, 99% of what I have done and what I've acquired, I've done on my own. And they've probably helped me a little bit, you know, 1 or 2% here. I mean, I guess the gems is a pretty significant, so maybe that's not fair. It's probably fair to say 90-something% is my own doing, and then they've helped me like 5 to 10% in gems and books and stuff like that. So trying to be as open and honest as possible. They've never like tried to steer my content. That's very important to me. I like, that's why I have the offer calculator, even though it's probably bad for my relationship with Plarium, honestly, that I have an offer sheet that, and basically like on a daily basis, I'm telling people like, this offer's bad, this offer's good, this offer's decent. I would hold off on this offer because we got an event coming soon. Honestly, that's probably me doing that is probably bad for my relationship with Plarium. They're probably not happy that I'm like telling people don't buy this offer, and stay away from this, and this offer's trash. That's but it's very important to me to not let a company like affect my content. But you know, back when I first started dealing with them, I did obey their wish to stay quiet about them giving me a Martyr, and I do regret that. That was a mistake. And anybody who's critical of me about that, I will face that, and I will admit that I was wrong, and I will let you criticize me. Like I typically don't delete comments that are critical of me in my comment sections, because you know I want an open discussion, and I want even sometimes when it hurts, it's good to read that and grow from it. And the only comments I delete are usually ones that are like super toxic or like threatening, or like a bunch of curse words, just like evil comments. But if somebody's critical of me, I typically I try to respond to them and at least read it and leave it there and try to learn from it. So this was definitely a good learning experience, and a mistake that I made that I'm owning up to. I already told you how I should have handled it, and now I understand that from and I have a lot more perspective having gone through a situation like this. And just in general, like I didn't get it back then. I used to kind of have the mentality of, why can't they, you know, help us out more? Like, why can't they just give us a bunch of champions to do guides on? And now I see there's just no fair way to do it. There's just like why should I get Martyr? Like, there's lots of people who are doing a lot of work in the raid community, making videos. There's not a fair way to do it. And then even if they gave every content provider a Martyr, where do you draw the line? Is it only people with a certain amount of subs? Is it only people who make a certain amount of videos? And then how is that fair to the player base? But, oh, just because I don't make videos, now they get champions that I don't get? Like, there's just no fair way to do it. So it's a really tough line to walk, because they want to you know, help out their content providers and their moderators in some way, and it's really hard to draw that line. But I should have been forthright about Martyr, and it had been so long ago that it kind of like slowly just kind of washed away, and I never even thought about it, to be honest with you. And then today, when it came up a lot in my comment section, I wanted to make sure and do a video where I tell the story, and I'm as transparent as possible, and I apologize for not doing that from the get-go. And yeah, I kind of explained how I got, you know, in that situation. And also in my video that somebody criticized me for was I talked about how it didn't even end up really helping me getting the Martyr, because I have 2 of them. And some people were like, wow, really? You're just gonna be flippant about Martyr like that? Like, a lot of us would love to have Martyr, and this guy is just kind of treating it like as a joke that Plarium gave him Martyr. My point was, I probably worded it wrong, and their criticism is fair. You know, I should have worded it better. My point was, as of today, my account would be exactly the same. Like Plarium giving me Martyr 6 months ago, like as of today, I would be in the exact same spot, whether they did that or not. Now, did it help me progress? And did I get to the point that I'm at right now a month sooner than I would have otherwise? Probably. Yeah, I can admit that. It was definitely a big deal when they gave me Martyr. I ended up getting her a little bit later on my own. But I definitely got to the end game a little bit sooner. But also, you know, I said it's different. Like, me and Cartman's situation is vastly different. Like, I didn't ask for a champion. I didn't rage. I didn't demand. I was literally just randomly messaged, like, and given a Martyr. So I was just kind of like thrown into it. Cartman's situation is him like begging for a champion, or not begging for a champion, but like raging and being compensated for raging. Mine was just being thrown into it. Just hey, we want to do something nice for you. Here's Martyr, and don't tell anyone. So I was like, what? But yeah, so I hope this cleared it up, everything from my previous video, and I really tried to be as transparent as possible, and you know, I tried to explain the situation I was in, and you know, hopefully I shed some light on that. If you have any questions, drop it down in the comments, and I will try to do my best to kind of watch over the comments and respond to you guys, and yeah, so hopefully that answers a few of your questions, and yeah, thanks for watching, and have a good rest of your day. Peace.